Okay. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about its current price moves. We're going to talk about crypto and just the general downward trend of the markets in general. Bitcoin saw a pretty significant decline the last few days. We did talk about that potential decline a few episodes ago, and we are living mighty fine since then. We might have a bit of a dead cat bounce going on here, but essentially, what we've been looking for is the finish of this compressionary period. And we have met the mean reversion target as far as that goes. Now, this has already entered upward compression as a converse move. So on our daily chart, right, we had our expansion. We saw a complete compression. It is now tapered off. So price can go either way. What we were talking about last time were the bounces off of this CLCP that we defined, which have been extremely consistent. We've tagged our mean reversion target. The condition is now expired. We don't have a lot of implied direction left on a higher time frame. We've seen our required consolidation for a new significant move. Now, the implied direction of that move is up for grabs on the higher time frames, right? This can now bleed for the next year as it slowly descends, or we could see a new move up. I do think that is a less likely scenario, as we've never really had a significant extensionary period after the initial move on Bitcoin before. You'll notice, let's go to the weekly, why not? Whenever we've seen this kind of consolidation, we rarely immediately see a significant run up again without a sufficiently compressed period on the higher time frames, right? This new expansionary period has been great. It's just you're playing with a lot of fire, betting that will continue to go up at this current time when you don't have a good amount of compression on the shorter time periods. Okay. On our 4-hour chart, however, we are in a bullish mean reversion. Okay. So you can take a long at this current time quite safely. You are going to be looking for the CCI rollup, right? A swing low, bouncing up to a swing high. You're going to be looking for a 10-period CCI rollup on the 4-hour chart. It'd be very clean and simple play. You just bet on maybe like 4 or 5%. Probably double bet, actually. You go for, I'd say 10. 10 is safe. Yeah, so look for your CCI bounce. It's clean and simple, and I think it's a safe play at this current time. We've got a complete mean reversion on the higher time frame. It's simple and clean. Okay, let's take a look at your questions. Recently, you have asked me about Link. Let's talk about Link. Now, Link has not been having the best of times recently. Definitely been some bleed, which is continuing to be the case. This is a very slow and steady decline. We did not see the bottom at a consolidatory period. This is a new bout of expansion we are seeing. So can we define this? Yes, we can. We have a nice mean reversion pivot. We are treading below that. So not a safe play at this current time. Yeah, that has bled significantly in the past few weeks. About 30 days, 20%. Not ideal. So we don't really have any signals for a significant bounce until we see a bullish mean reversion activation. Yeah, actually, the 1 hour, I think you have a chance. If we do break up above this 280 period, 1.25 standard deviation, yeah, you could go for a quick mean inversion play, which honestly, about 10%, it's not bad. So if we have an expectation of Bitcoin to recover, which we do, and we see an activation of this mean inversion condition, it's something you can definitely try to play. Take a look at Sol. Okay, much prettier chart. Completed mean inversion on the higher time frame. 10-hour chart is sufficiently compressed for a new move, but we have no implied direction as this far. 4-hour chart. Now this has been compressing far too long to get a good grasp on the lower time frames. This technically is active. No, but it has expired. Do have this wave PM cross here with implied upward direction. It's just when you see that, you want a bullish MR pivot to bounce off of for your upward move, and I'm not seeing that. So it looks the trend is up, but we don't have a good way to enter it. Okay. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Oof. Yeah, taking the same hits as Bitcoin recently. That is a big dip. Oof. Painful week. We are going to have a bullish MR pivot. Just, sure as hell haven't crossed it yet. So, one thing interesting here is we do have a failure of one of my favorite plays. I suppose that could be attributed to the significant volatility past the 3.2 standard deviation. Generally, if you have a developed blocks and you bounce off its 3.2, you can probably scalp it for about 5%. But in the rare scenario you do plunge through it, you can't expect that to fail. So I always like to talk about scenarios where something doesn't work and why. So if you do manage to actually plunge through your pivot, well, you're not going to bounce off it. Take a look at Litecoin. Oh man, Litecoin hasn't been healthy in a very long time. No, I would not touch this at all. You need an active trend to start in the upward direction to even consider this, and I don't see that happening. Possible for a short, that's your question. Okay, different scenario. This is far too tapered to have a good pivot. This is very slowly expanding, so you don't have a good downward pivot to bounce off of to enter the trend, so no. Okay, what's the long-term analysis, say the next 6 to 12 months on Bitcoin? Yeah, let's take a look. Let's do the BLX chart because I'm inclined to say slow bleed around 40,000. Probably going to see some of this for the next year. Yeah, not very excited. A new leg up here would require an unrealistic amount of force compared to the available potential energy. So you need a serious catalyst to get a new upward move. I think it's far safer just to bet on slow bleed, and I think that will provide some good scalping in the next 6 to 12 months. Yep. That's going to be it for today. I'll talk to you all soon this week, okay? You have a beautiful afternoon and a beautiful